So this is where I want to talk about something as a topic. Darkest Night and After Sound is look how much fun we're having just hanging out on a Sunday playing games on the Mav server. As a new player, if you could have access to these cards in this battle mode as a sandbox and not earn any rewards, just play the game to play the game and see the rule sets and the abilities, wouldn't you love that? Like that to me, like this is fun to me, right? Now, and I'm lucky because I have access to a lot of these cards on my account that I can play with in ranked battles. But for majority of the players, they don't have access to these cards, these levels. I just think it opens up such a big door to new players if we have a sandbox mode. Now, people will say, well, it'll devalue the cards because everyone will have access to whatever they want. But I say the opposite is true. I say if you give a player access to how the game is meant to be played and show them the way, they'll be like, hey, I need to buy these cards. I need to get these cards at this level and I need to earn rewards with them and I need to play tournaments with them, right? To me, that negates the downside of giving the access in the sandbox mode. And I've had videos on this concept from a year ago. If you check my video channel, when I talk about the sandbox mode, I just think if you're talking about how to instantly improve new player experience overnight with a flip of a switch, you've got it. The Mav test server. Just make it a new game mode called Sandbox. Boom, you go in there. You don't earn any rewards. You just play whoever you want. Everyone's on the same footing. Have at it. And this is the beauty of the game. Like what you're seeing, these combinations, these summoners, these cards, this is what the game's about. Silver and bronze, honestly, I'm going to tell you guys, it's not fun. This is fun.
Right. I agree with you 100%. And we have a practice mode, right, that no one ever goes into, right? And I would just say totally revamp that practice mode, make it ghost cards and no rewards, of course, because there aren't any rewards in it. And when you hit practice, if after 30, 40 seconds, no one is in there to play live with you, it spawns up a bot, right? And you play against someone, right? So that would have helped me out a lot when I first started playing.
Yeah.
Right. And heck, you can even do, Weirdbeard's version of Battle Pass in there, right? Just have different objectives that you're trying to go through for a play session. Maybe if you play 20 games, maybe you get a little bit of a reward, right? For going through these exercises, if you will. Yeah. So, I think I agree with you, right? There should be some version of the game where you have exposure to all the cards.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would love a sandbox mode or even just an expanded challenge mode where you could be a little bit more creative or customizable. Here's the thing. So, Tails, you're 100% on point. I would love for that to be the case. And if that was, then I would be one of the people that the company fears because I would devalue the cards, because I would want to set up an entirely separate league outside of the game. Like my goal is I want to create the NFL or the NBA of Splinterlands, right? Like I would love to create that, bring people in, bring hopefully outside money into sponsor some of these things. But the reason that we don't do tournaments as much on this channel anymore is because everybody's just at different levels, and I can't do something that is if you're only at XYZ level or only at silver or only at bronze, and then we force people to play modern, we force people to play wild. I would just love it where if there was a simple way to just have ghost card tournaments, but then I would abuse it because I would totally set something up outside, right?
But it's a net positive though. Yes, you would abuse it, but look at all the people that would come in and play. Your neighbors. Look how many neighbors you could get to play the game if you just showed them this mode. You can't show your neighbor silver and bronze.
And that is my argument, right? It's just if there's a game mode where people can come and play for free, sure. Am I creating something outside of the system that would technically devalue the cards? Yes, but you can't tell me that the amount of marketing, the amount of engagement from players, the amount of excitement, the amount of content that would come out of that would not be something worthwhile and a net positive to the overall ecosystem. Again, I'm sure people are going to look at what I just said, tear it apart and find little ways to poke holes, and that's fine. I don't think that there's a perfect way to move forward with this, but if we had that mode available, I would be one of those people wanting to set up the NBA. And this is where I thought Weirdbeard was going, and it seems like he shifted, to the Battle Pass a little bit, which is fine because we also need people to focus on the new player experience, and he's great for that. But last year when all the talk was about esports and this, I was just I want there to be an ongoing an ongoing competition where everybody can enter in and it's merit based, and there could be some real rewards, real prizes. And even if there's not, I mean, like if we just created something official and people got to join in and you got to play with all the cards, but you got a trophy at the end in your trophy room that says, hey, Darkest Night was the champion of the 2021 or sorry, not 20, but 2022 season, right? Like that'd be freaking sweet.
It would be awesome.
I would do that. Right?
And you'd work hard for it, right? You'd practice. You'd really practice and get look for novel meta changes, unpredictable strategies, right?
Yeah.
Because it's interesting, right? Tails and I would play some of the same cards, right? That given all the cards that we have to play with, in many instances, we're playing very similar cards.
Yeah.
With subtle differences, right?
Exactly.
And what I think is, and Chris West mentioned this in the chat, which is what I've talked about on stream as well. This opens up the door for iOS and Android for the mobile store, because you just have a mobile version of the game with no rewards, sandbox mode only. Like, this is a fun game to play on mobile if you make it mobile ready and you give it the sandbox mode. You get through the App Store issue with crypto and fees and all that other stuff. You just give it a free to play, sandbox mobile mode, and then guess what? People start figuring out, hey, I can buy a spell book. And own my cards. This is to mobile quickly, potentially, and opening up the door for new users in my mind. And it just seems like a no-brainer, but I don't really know very much, and as many will tell you in chat, I have no idea what I'm talking about most of the time. So there you go.
No, I mean this idea has been championed by several folks, and I think that it's a good move. Is there a risk that it devalues cards? Sure, but as long as you don't give any rewards out, and I would say, if anything, what Splinterlands should be doing is being at the forefront of it, right? So like I just gave an example of like what I would do. I would create tournaments and I would do all this stuff outside where everybody could just use their ghost cards. So what's the incentive then for people to buy? Well, if Splinterlands comes in and all of a sudden they're the ones getting big sponsors from major esports donors or whatever, like that's money coming in, that's exposure, that's all these different things. And I'm not saying that we should have a totally free to play version. But I think it definitely helps. It definitely helps bring people in. And to your point, Tails, and to your point, Darkest Night, like we spent the entire morning, nobody here earned anything. I mean, sorry, between you guys, nobody here earned anything, right? But you played, and it was fun. And I was getting excited with the games. People were talking about, oh, that's a nail biter. That's a classic, right? The game is inherently fun. And that's one of the strongest things that Splinterlands has going for it, as opposed to many other projects. And so if the game is inherently fun, you got to find ways to just get it in the hands of people without being so laser focused on monetizing.
And let me add, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You can separate the fun from the earnings, right? If somebody wants to earn and that's their focus, they're going to go to ranked, right? They're going to go to tournaments. But if somebody just wants to jump in and have a good time and play with the cards, then again, you have this practice mode or sandbox mode, which will get people to play and stick around.
Yeah, and if you look at other games on the mobile side that have a large audience, like you look at Raid, Shadow Legends, or you look at Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, those have a huge audience that some are, it's pay to play, but, they play because they like the game. Our game, I think, is just as fun at the highest levels of the game. And when you have all these eyes coming into the game, looking at the lore, looking at the other options that are available, it just translates to new paid users, more spell books, bigger economy. Because like if I'm playing in this game, yeah, I could just stay in the free to play mobile version, and that's good. That's no problem. Like it's a new player that we wouldn't have had otherwise. So there's no negative effect on card values in my mind. But it has, I would say, a greater than 50% chance of converting that player eventually into a paid player over time.
Absolutely.
And when I look at that, there's no risk. It is pure reward because you're getting eyes on the game, you're getting people talking about the game, you're getting content creators coming to the game. These are all positives that can only add to the value of SPS and cards over the long run.
Yeah. And as you gain experience, right? A beginner eventually becomes an intermediate and advanced player, right? And even if they're playing the free-to-play ghost cards, eventually their skill set is going to rise, and then they're going to just hopefully decide, let me go be competitive. Let's see what I can do with these new skills that I just spent months developing.
Agreed. And actually, Chuni makes a great point here. I'll catch up with the rest of the chat, but Chuni says you can make up for the devaluing of cards by increasing the price of SPS because of demand. So here's the thing, right? Like, you create this free-to-play version, people go in, there's no rewards. But if they come in and maybe want to play, maybe they have zero intention of ever buying a card, right? But Splinterlands offers ghost card tournaments. They offer this circuit where you can come in. Well, now, in order to play in the tournament that has all ghost cards, well, maybe it costs a pretty hefty chunk of SPS, right? In order to play in those, for you to stake SPS, right? So it's still going to be limited in that way. But I don't know, man. There's so much potential with it.
I even have a better idea, right? So if we're worried about devaluing cards, compete directly with Magic. Friday night Splinterlands, between the hours of 8 and midnight, it's ghost cards. Anyone can play with the cards in the practice mode. And then at midnight, it's gone, right? And then every Friday, we're just there, or whatever. Pick a.
No, that's actually a phenomenal idea. You do it, make it an event. Everybody comes in. It's just open challenge mode. Everybody has access to the MAV server. Right now, it's the MAV server, right? But for 2 hours every Friday night, or I don't know, maybe Splinterlands starts with an S. So like Saturday night Splinterlands, right? So you do something like that. And it becomes an event. It's just like, hey, now I have a friend, right? Or friends where I'm just like, dude, come check this game out. Saturday night, link up with me. We'll be on Discord together, or we'll live stream, whatever. Come in. You can play the game for free, 100% for free. There's no rewards, but it's fun. And you can see other people playing, and they just do that. They don't even need to do it every week. Just do it like once a month. And that to me can get people in.
Tie it to Splinterlands TV, right? Just do that, right? Just have everybody, whoever the host is, hell, maybe even have the team do it. Right? Yeah. Let the team come in, let them play with the ghost cards. We're talking about Splinterlands related stuff. Highlight a couple of the games, the matches, and we're just all in there, right?
Okay, hold on. I think we actually have something here. It needs to be an event. It needs to be, and I think a good cadence, or at least a monthly cadence, would probably be solid. Where it's just like once a month. It's Splinterlands night, right? Splinterlands Saturday night.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just makes a ton of sense. You don't even need a Hive account. You don't even need to set up anything. You just go to the Splinterlands website, and maybe they make a sandbox.splinterlands.com, and anybody can come in and just start sending matches to one another. Or maybe you do still need to make an account.
I would prefer people make an account, right? Make an account because it kind of.
But you don't need to buy a spell book.
But you don't need to buy a spell book. But I bet you after, maybe you give out a free spell book codes, right? Who knows?
There you go. The thing is, if it is an event, then it's not just like an open thing. Now it's like I tell friends, you tell friends, everybody's saying like, hey, come check out this game. Splinterlands could even do, social media advertising, be like, yo, come in, check this game out. You can play for free, see what it's all about. If anything, we'll see if there's like a leaderboard and prizes for that night where some people get some packs, right? But again, it's like you don't want it to be botted in any way. But if they make it into an event where people are there and streamers are giving out packs and things like that, it could be cool, man.
Yeah, I would be that's where I would be every Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving out cards for FOMO February for just hanging out in chat, I mean, it would be so much better if you're, active with the streamer, doing matches, everyone's having a good time, and then you're giving out some prizes as well. It's just more engaging. It's the next evolution, right, of what Splinterlands could do.
And it would be cool, right? Because you could have the team members; they would know exactly when there would be the most people on, and they can just come in, right?
Yeah.
Say, if Aggie wants to hype stuff up, man, he's in there playing with us, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I know it would be competition for Splinterlands TV, but I feel like this is where this is where Splinterlands should be tapping into the content creator pool, right? The content creator, and it's just like, Tails, here's like 5 packs that you can give away. Make sure you stream Saturday night at 8 p.m., right? After Sound, Dwayne, like all of you guys, just get on your channels. This is an event, right? Just get people here, show them what it's all about, give away some packs. And we'll do it again next month, right? Giveaway, or maybe even give away like spellbook codes or whatever the case is, right? But I don't know. There's something there from a marketing perspective, because at the end of the day, word of mouth is going to be the strongest thing. And so if I actually have a place where I can invite people to, that's like an event, and we live in a digital world now, right? Friday Night Magic used to be like, oh, bring your cousin, bring your whatever. Let's go check out this comic book store, this gaming store. But now it's like, yo, just hop online, check out this game.
Yep.